In cinema, these are the perfect ways to die. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest decisions in horror movies. For this list, we're focusing on legitimately boneheaded moves that either led to imminent death or general chaos. We're also excluding joke scenes a la Bill Murray's demise in Zombieland.
Oh my god, I can't believe I shot Bill Murray.
Number 10, heroin or demons? Evil Dead.
Naturum Demonto.
Naturum Demonto, the Book of the Dead. Such words may not seem appropriate for someone battling a heroin addiction in the woods.
Hopefully this still works.
But in Fede Alvarez's supposedly fresh installment of the classic series, Eric makes the conscious decision to study a flesh-bound book, which also happens to be written in blood. Spoiler alert, Maya soon has a lot more to worry about than Smack, all thanks to Eric and his dim-witted curiosity.
I read a passage from that book. It was some sort of prayer. I released something, David. I released something evil.
The next time you have to choose between Naturum Demonto and heroin, you should probably just choose the latter, at least in the movies.
I will feast on your soul. Based on this motherfucker.
Number 9, All That Work, The Cabin in the Woods.
Let's get this party started.
Despite the brilliance of the narrative itself, this cinematic collaboration from Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard has one major flaw that can't be ignored.
The gods that used to rule the earth. As long as they accept our sacrifice, they remain below. But the other rituals have all failed.
As the orchestrators of a plan to appease the gods watch a contrived narrative unfold, Marty and Dana manage to survive the ritualistic mayhem and find themselves in a secret elevator.
Army of nightmares, huh?
While it may seem like a tough predicament, they manage to pick the lock, so to speak, thus unleashing the monsters all over the surprised staff. All that work, but still such a flawed security system. Of course, you also have Kurt's questionable motorcycle jump, but in one way, that kind of makes sense.
But I'm coming back here. I'm coming back with cops and choppers and large f***ing guns, and those things are gonna pay.
Number 8, totally not an unexplored cave, The Descent.
So have you done these caves before? No, but they're only level 2 and quite safe, don't worry.
Considering what happens to Sarah's family in the opening events of The Descent, you'd think that Juno might have learned a lesson when it comes to future outdoor excursions. Safety first.
Holly, safety first. I don't want any stunts this time.
But these are the movies, and if you're gonna take your loved ones spelunking, you go big or you go home. Of course, Juno didn't exactly tell anybody the truth regarding the unexplored cave system. So naturally, there were all kinds of screwed and left to battle some deeply annoying creatures known as the crawlers. And I guess you know what happens next.
Please say we're gonna get out here.
Number 7, Run, Helen, run! I Know What You Did Last Summer. When you're being chased by a dark figure with a massive hook, and they appear to be quite efficient in their ways, the best course of action is always to keep moving. You know, running away from certain death. However, in I Know What You Did Last Summer, the beautiful Helen Shivers finds herself distracted by a marching band and obvious safety. However, she inexplicably stops, and not to check her phone. Instead, she stops because that's just how dumb blondes get killed in horror movies, and that's why people scream at inanimate objects in public. Number 6, Hands in a Box, Saw 2.
Hello, Michael. I want to play a game.
For round 2 of Jigsaw's devious game of murder, he threatens slow and nasty deaths. But like a true gentleman, he informs the victims that antidotes to their predicament can be found around the pad.
Several are hidden around this house. One is inside the safe in front of you. You all possess the combination to the safe.
Well, once Addison reaches a glass box, she's not quite as composed as she'd like to be. If she would have just processed the situation properly, rather than sticking not one but both hands in that box, she might have noticed that the key was lying just a few inches away. Not a sharp move, Addie. Kinda like Lawrence cutting off his damn foot in the original Saw, rather than using his shirt to get the phone. Number 5, Rage Against the Machine, 28 days later.
I know who you are. I know what you think you're doing.
You don't want to get hurt. Keep your mouth shut and don't move a
muscle.
Kinda like global warming, some people just refuse to believe scientists. Despite warnings from one in the opening minutes of this zombie flick, a group of activists make a surprisingly idiotic decision. Goddamn liberals.
Get the cages open! No!
The chimps essentially rage against the machine, and they rage hard, giving the film its title and making the viewers hate those animal activists. As if PETA wasn't having a hard enough time as it is. Man, they ruined it for everybody and even managed to infect us with anger.
Oh my God!
Number 4, a few apples short. Scream.
Please leave me alone.
By now, we can look back at this scene and laugh, considering we know the franchise as a whole. Still, it's a perfect example of how poor decision-making can make any mild-mannered viewer foam at the mouth, whether inside the movie theaters or at home.
Don't do this, I can't, I won't.
Your call.
As Wes Craven's iconic film starts, Casey Becker gets a naughty phone call. But no matter what the audio perf says, she can't manage to hang up the damn phone and call the cops.
Listen, I am 2 seconds away from calling the police.
They'd never make it in time. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
You gotta hand it to Drew Barrymore for such an honest performance, even if her character is a few apples short of a bushel.
Who's there? I'm calling the police.
Number 3, torture porn, The Ring.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it?
If Scream made people laugh and cry, this American remake of the classic Japanese horror film made viewers melt down in public and dribble a little bit of pee down their legs. At the heart of The Ring is the tape, a disturbing recording that characters have been warned not to watch because it will kill them.
That tape didn't scare you?
No, not really. Sorry.
And just like nobody can turn away from a train wreck, the characters in this film naturally just have to know what the F is going on with this tape, as if they actually could know that a creepy girl would crawl out of the TV and drag them to hell. But alas, that's what happens. Moral of this story, maybe just don't push play and go to the gym or something instead.
7 days.
Number 2, did I do that? The Mist.
We gave it a good shot. Nobody can say we didn't.
Perhaps one of the most agonizing moments in modern cinema. A man comes to the proverbial crossroads after the mist wreaks havoc. Yet this path of escapism involves death for his entire crew.
For once.
There's 5 of us.
Being the upstanding citizen that he is, David Drayton executes a mass mercy killing, sparing himself only because he ran out of bullets. But surprise, the war is over, as the US Army rolls up and inadvertently delivers the knockout punch to old Davy's very soul. Now that's what you call some bad timing, and certainly a blow to the senses. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Kick that f***ing map into the creek yesterday. It was useless. I kicked that into the creek.
Where? Here? Here?
Right there!
Hey, these things don't leak, do they?
Leak? Hell no. These things were made by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Oh, fuck! Everyone out!
Number 1, Municipal Mismanagement, Jaws.
I pulled a tooth the size of a shot glass out of the wrecked hull of a boat out there, and it was the tooth of a great white.
When the remains of a dead body are found on shore, Mayor Larry Vaughn doesn't balk under pressure from local authorities.
Look, we depend on the summer people here for our very lives.
Rather, he stands tall in the name of the almighty dollar, even if people later describe ginormous teeth in the wrecked hulls of boats.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
And so the smug politician doesn't close the beach. After all, they caught the culprit in question, right? Well, no they didn't.
You guys okay over there?
Some people in horror movies only screw themselves with dumbass decisions. But in Jaws, one prideful man just couldn't pay attention to the obvious facts and made everyone feel the wrath of a great white shark.
I'm not going to waste my time arguing with a man who's lining up to be a hot lunch. I'm going to see you later.
So, do you agree with our selections? What do you think was the dumbest decision in horror movie history? For more mind-blowing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.